Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Randy. We are continuing into Stafford case. Last time we finished up backstage. I did not figure out how the other theory went. I might throw it in as like a bonus little video somewhere. I don't know. But that was the path I wanted to go. Let's be honest. Jean-Henri Houdin was an asshole. Let's move on to case 2. Pet shop creatures. The mutilated results of phenomena. An incident occurs at a creature breeding facility. I wonder if this is like Thana's like backstory. Because we got like how Notrick got into it. Because it's like Thana's like right there. And that sound. He's dead. He's really dead. How was it, you worthless piece of filth? I knew this day would come. Let's hurry. I can't let them find out I was here. This is all because of you monsters. Whatever, I don't care. After all, it wasn't me who killed him. Oh, it's been like a whole month. Maybe. Sorry, I kept you waiting for some time, yes. Let's hurry back. I just realized that I accidentally made Redfin's a little bit voiced like Francesca. It's fine. What all did you have to buy? Paper for the office, ink, 5 kilograms of tea leaves. You know, things. Sergeant, because of all these case files back here, there's already 0 room. Could we put all that in the trunk? You mean the boot? There's no room back there. That's why we keep the files on theft and robberies. Sometimes I feel like I might be better switching places with the files. Is it that heavy? I feel like I'm being flattened. It's already been a month since I've joined the Mana Affairs Division. Because of the case, the tower case, the others recognized my talents. But since they could solve most cases with their skills, I was given the task of reviewing cases and filling out paperwork. At times, I began to question my decisions leading to this point, since that was exactly what I had done back with my old private investigator boss. But still, I was satisfied enough just from being accepted as part of the team. I don't think I'd get used to being part of the Mana Affairs Division so easily, but I felt completely adjusted to it in all just 1 month. Why do you look so worn out all of a sudden? Huh? I'm not, I'm just... I bought snacks too, so feel free to eat if you're feeling peckish. So that's what smells good. Sausages? You have to leave some for Thana and Brian, though. Contains 0.2% pork. Do you not like sausages? No, it's the packaging. The pig's grinning from ear to ear. I was just wondering if he should be. Is that your issue? Is it normal for him to be? Not really. It feels like putting a big smiling human on the package of a bunch of human meat. Might be a rather effective advertising for cannibals. And now I have to put myself in the cannibals' shoes. When it comes to products, it's important to think of the needs of the customers. Anyways, there's not that much pork in that sausage anyway. Huh? What's this? Now that I'm taking a closer look, it only says 0.2% pork. With only 0.2%, why not just leave it out altogether? A good con artist always makes sure they have escape route, no? There's no such thing as a good con artist. What about me? Anyway, if the sausage is only 0.2% pork, what's the other 99.8% made of? Fish? Flour? Maybe. Creature meat? Uh-huh. You never want to know how the sausage gets made. I'm afraid to ask, but what did you just say? You mean creatures? Yes, yet another new term? You don't know? This is rather bothersome, but I guess I should explain. You understand staffers and staff now, right? If mana inhabits a body, we call them a staffer. And if it inhabits an inanimate object, we call it staff, right? And that's right. And then on top of that, it inhabits a non-human animal. It's called a creature. In the case of staffers and staff, the phenomena takes the form of random powers. Such powers are commonly referred to as skills. And creatures, unlike staffers, can't use skills. Instead, the phenomenon manifests itself in the form of body transformations. To put it simply, it makes them bigger, or they develop peculiar characteristics, something in that vein. Thus, some creatures get quite meaty, and with their excellent reproductive capacities, they're often used as a source of food. And it's okay to eat? Though there have been no documented cases of creature meat having an adverse effect on the human body, there are some like you, note, who prefer to avoid it since they view it as unclean. However, it's got a great flavor with the low price tag, so those with little means are thankful for the meal. Ever since we commercialized creature meat, starvation has taken a steep nosedive. Well, when you put it like that... I'm trying to tell you it's fine to eat, but I didn't expect you to chow down with no objections. Well, since it's not bad for me, I've got no reason not to eat it. You lived in New Mexico. Like, I'm just saying in terms of the states overall. Like, you lived in the United States. I feel like the 50s and the 60s were, like, the time where, like, fast food was really growing. I think. I could be wrong in that statement, so don't quote me on any of it. And it's like, oh, hey, we're just, cheap food. It's the same thing. It's fine. Surprisingly, no, it's actually delicious. Improving taste, the most important of the body's transformations creatures get. Yeah, I've really made Redfin sound like Francesca. The more I talk like her, the more I feel like I'm turning back into Francesca. Which I don't mind. They have similar vibes. Redfinch just doesn't have a whip. Yet? I don't know. We're back? Why are you two so late getting back? We bought sausages. Woohoo! We're strange. I love these. Is something the matter? I have no idea what that's supposed to be. One at a time. Detective Brian was called to the scene and requested reinforcements. How did you catch all that? Why would she talk with her mouth full of food if she thought we wouldn't understand? He said we should all come if possible. That means you too, Note. Me too? It seems as though there's a case he can't solve using his skill alone. What's the case? Where are we going? It's a murder case. It happened at a place on Lisan Street, a creature management facility. The head of the facility? He was caught and eaten by a creature. Wait. Okay. No, that's just... Ooh. Why is it always just 3 suspects? Like, I get that these are, like, the beginning ones. And I'm kind of just, like, I want one that's, like, massive. Because this is, like, so much fun. I just love, like, detective stuff. And if you go back, like, I have some really old, like, oh gosh, what is it? Soul Suspect? The one where you're, like, a detective ghost? I've always loved, like, detective games. No, are you sure you're alright not going with Pandy? She's your partner. If I ride in that car one more time, I actually might be crushed to death. Wait, did you just say the sergeant and I are partners? I guess I was the only one who thought like that. Yeah, I guess it is pretty much the case, though. Shouldn't that come as more of a shock? It's pretty obvious you were trying to get a reaction out of me. Aw, someone's starting to build up an immunity to my humor. I think you're the only one who would consider that humor, Sergeant.
Look at you two. You're getting along so well.
Let's say we are. Then would you please explain the case?
All right, for 2 latecomers, I'll lay it out for you myself.
Now we get all of this in Thana's voice, which is fortunately easy for me.
The murder occurred at the creature management facility called Woods. It's a place where they raise creatures and do research on them. It's a private-run facility, but they go way back with the Bureau, so it seems they also pass some of that information on to the government. But at 1 in the afternoon yesterday, a body was found assumed to be the head of the facility, Jerry Thompson. More accurately, they found a hand that they're assuming was Jerry Thompson's.
You're saying the victim was eaten by a creature?
That's right. His hand was found in his office, and the rest was found at a waste treatment facility when they disposed of the creature's excrement. The victim's office, it's in absolute tatters from what we can only assume was a large creature rampaging on the loose. It was there the creature got caught and ate its victim.
Not exactly a scene I want to imagine. However, I clearly heard you use the word murder, right? If the victim was eaten by a creature, we can't exactly conclude that it was a murder, can we?
I'm not sure of those details myself, but it seems the Woods faculty includes 3 staffers who kept their creatures in check.
So there was possibly a cover-up for a murder by one of the staffers. That must be what the higher-ups at the facility are thinking.
This case is yet to be looked at into by the police. Those higher-ups asked for us by name. Thus, I think we're going to have to investigate the scene of the crime more thoroughly than we did our last big case.
I'm gonna roll my head because my neck.
We're already here, the scene of the crime. Well, let's hear the rest of the explanation straight from the horse's mouth. Autosave.
Reptile wing.
Wait, is this going to be the Shao Tucker case? Is that what this is going to feel like? Just the Shao Tucker case?
Oh boy.
Oh wow, I can't even begin to describe this place. I figured it'd be some sort of ranch, but it's got more of a factory feel to it.
They did say there's some research going on alongside the breeding program, no?
Ah, thus the choice of interior design?
But, am I the only one who's concerned about the giant in that cage?
What's gotten into you, Note? You scared? That thing's stuffed. You're scared of a stuffed animal. Even creatures don't get that big.
Are you sure?
Of course. Look here, huh?
I'm so glad that they make these sound effects so I don't have to make them.
My hand! I've still got my hand attached to my arm, right?
Stuffed animal, my rear. That thing's alive.
Blimey. And here I was, hoping it was stuffed.
How could she assume her hope is a proven fact?
Well, if you think about it rationally, there'd be no reason to lock a stuffed animal in a cage. For the aesthetic. Or also I get this is a, because they said something about a ranch aspect, so I wonder if there are tours and stuff like that, because they gotta make money. They gotta make money to keep this up. Please tell me that before I touch it next time. Someone's coming. 2 someones.
Huh? I see you all have arrived. What was that going on a moment ago?
It was just Thana almost having her arm bitten off.
But who's this with you, Brian? This here's the facilities. Wait, what did you just say? Why, hello there. Welcome, welcome. You all must be from the Mana Affairs Division. I am the Vice President of Woods, Researcher, and Security Officer 9 Beck. I'm also the acting head of the institution as things stand, so if you have any questions, feel free to call me up.
Sergeant Redfins, at your service, and your name was?
9 Beck. I just told you.
I'm sorry. I sort of stopped listening in the middle since you were droning on so long.
Quite the sense of humor you got there, Sergeant. I hear that quite often. That's a lie. Shall we start by checking the scene of the crime? Since you're the vice president, acting president, and security guard, it shouldn't be hard for you to get us there, right?
Ah, and perhaps, is there a room we could use as our field office?
If that's what you require, you can use our lounge number 2, which is located directly to the right of your crime scene.
Great, then I'll prepare the room for our interrogations.
No, I'll take care of that. I doubt I'll be of much help this time.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
I'll explain it later. Sarge is...
God, what voice? I keep fucking up Brian's voice because I keep trying to do British and then I keep trying to make it sound just mask and then it's like, it goes everywhere.
I'll explain later. Sarge, is that alright with you?
It seems like you've got something irking you. If you must, then would you like to come with us to the crime scene, Thana? Sure. Let's go to the crime scene.
And the hand's still there.
This wasn't the way this place was decorated originally, right?
I figured the place would be a bit of a mess, but this is far worse than I expected.
It's a disaster.
We've kept the room preserved exactly how it was. This is how it looked when Miss Moko came upon it.
Who is Miss Moko exactly?
I forgot to talk about her. Lisa Moko, one of our handlers here at the facility. She's in charge of the reptile wing. Then this Lisa Moko was first on the scene. Well then, investigate to your heart's content. I simply cannot look at the city longer, so I'll attend to other business.
Indeed, do as you will. Note, are you alright? This is the first time you've seen a crime scene torn up this bad, huh?
I'm fine. When I think of this as a criminal investigation, I get strangely calm. Speaking of which, Detective Thana, you don't normally see the crime scenes. You look quite composed yourself.
Well, for me, I saw a lot more of this when I worked probations. This isn't enough to draw a reaction from me.
Probations?
Thana started in another department. Then she moved to the Man Affairs Division about 4 years ago.
That's the first I'm hearing of this. What's probation's handle?
Good old probations, short for Probations and Rehabilitation Department.
Probations. Right, that's the department that carries away the criminals once we close a case, huh?
When I worked there, I had a reputation for being a bit much to handle. I've got a dark past.
Huh? Darker than this?
Shilling for your thoughts?
Nothing of note. This isn't good. I came here to do a memory survey, and my mind is holding on to one intense memory that's drowning out all the rest.
An intense memory?
Wrong voice, that's fine. Indeed, a man screams, the sound of bones crunching, the inhale and exhale of a large beast.
That hand over there is all that's left of the corpse, huh? The rest of it, perhaps...
When I first heard he was eaten by a creature, I couldn't really picture it in my mind. But after seeing the state of this room and that creature back there, I can't not picture it. I'm feeling a little queasy. I'm beginning to understand what happened here, but I don't see a single clue that'll help us identify a possible murderer.
From the looks of it, one of the creatures went straight for the victim. We need more information on our suspects. Let's join Brian for now. Right. He's probably gotten the room ready for my interrogations by now. Once we have a room, setting up doesn't take all that long.
Time to go. I was like trying to figure out like a fun, catchy interrogation theme, and I'm like, oh, I can't think of anything. God, I'm so cold. Hello, the lot of you are finished with your investigation already. As expected, the Bureau does work fast. Mr. Beck, why are you here? I called him in. If we're going to question everyone, I thought who better to start with than the Vice President. The other suspects should be with us soon. Well then, let's get right to it. Here's my bureau file. He's the first to hand over his file to me directly.
Holy shit.
Mr. Beck, I see your skill is coordinate-based object transmission. Threat level STN? It's one above cult. A skill as dangerous as an armored tank. It's the highest threat level we've ever shared with the public. What sort of skill do you possess exactly? With my skill, I can take an object within range and teleport it to any other location within range. But showing you would be faster than trying to explain it 100 times. Bam, how's that? That's pretty much it. Oh, did she just hit him? Oh, quite the painful location for that. Sorry to suppress. Oh! Did she just hit him again? Oh, right in the same place. In such cases, the damage doubles. Let's divide into 2 groups. Brian and I will take a look around the facility, then a note can continue with this man's interrogations. Understood? Then let's go. We may be in for this one. I haven't had time to properly explain why. Anyway, I'll leave what documents I have. I have my spork upside down, so feel free to contact me if you run into any problems. Surprisingly, she's quite the light puncher. No, it's that she normally prefers verbal attacks.
Mr. Beck, did you perhaps mess with Pandy?
Pandy? Yes, I may have laid a hand on her shoulder.
Ah, that explains it. Sorry, the sergeant doesn't like to be touched.
It's quite alright, I was the first to cross the line. That reminds me. The sergeant said she suffers from germophobia, right? That's why she didn't shake my hand?
Germophobia? That's not why. Well, I can't be sure, can I? After all, I'm still in the middle of my studies into psychopathy.
Psychopathy?
I mean, Pandy's been in her fair share of situations, but you'll have to ask her about all that later on.
Now that I'm thinking about it, we've been working together for a month now, but I still know almost nothing about the sergeant. Where are my socks? Can't find them.
Well then, shall we take Mr. Beck's statement?
Right, of course. What should I tell you about?
First off, it would be good to start with how you found out about the incident. Here, you may rest your hands on this table and feel free to speak from a place of tranquility.
Righto, leave it to me.
Oh, I love to see the cooperative mindset. Let's go.
Indeed. Let's speak from a place of tranquility. What's that supposed to mean?
Statement time. Ready? Go.
It was somewhere between noon and 1 when Miss Moko's scream echoed through the facility. Right when I heard the sound, I ran as fast as I could toward it. Though, I was the last on the scene. When I saw the battered door to the office, I had a feeling something bad had happened. When I saw all that blood, my legs felt like rubber. And that's when I found out that Mr. Thompson was dead. That's all I can remember. I think they show, like, the visible part. It was something about him being last on the scene made him, like, iffy, which makes, was that enough?
I guess we'll see about that, no? No, consider this a warm-up. Do you remember how to use the information I collect during the statements?
Of course. When our witnesses worked up or lying, we detect fluctuations in the heartbeats. So if there's a statement I think might be false, I just have to connect the statement with the abnormal heartbeat, right?
Well, take a look at the statement and see if there's anything that stands out to you.
Now, my question is does the lack of a heartbeat also sus? I don't think we can print anything. Okay. Like, this feels sus, and this feels sus. Because there's no heartbeat here. Like, because it was something in terms of, like, high stress, because it's like, oh, that... I don't know if this is something, but it's making me question things. Okay. So it's this one. That still is bugging me. The fact that he saw all the blood and then's not distressed or anything. It could be also that he's telling the truth, but it is something in terms of like stressful things or stuff like that, like the heartbeat will fluctuate. So I feel like when you see a shit ton of blood. But that's just me. Maybe that's like later on. That'll be useful.
So, while you were combing through his statement,
Right here, there's a lie in his statement.
You found one already?
Yep, are you surprised?
Come to think of it, you're just that sort of bloke, aren't you? I guess I forgot over the course of a month.
Excuse me, but about this lie, what are you getting at exactly? Oh, wrong person. Don't you already know? Mr. Beck, the part about you running to the scene right when you heard the scream. You were lying. Oh, wait, how did you come to that conclusion? Do you have any proof? Proof is in the abnormal heartbeat detective they detected, but I can't let him on that we're using skills just yet. How should I proceed?
You're not quite as smart as you look.
Excuse me?
If we were bluffing, do you think we could have pointed out the exact part of your statement that was false? And speaking of us, we're already dead certain you were lying. You shouldn't keep on questioning us about every little thing and casting suspicion. You should be telling us the truth. That's your job in this.
Detective Thana is a surprisingly good speaker at times like this. You see, it's a bit embarrassing. You're right, in truth, I couldn't head directly to the scene. I was in a situation where I couldn't get away from.
Yes, of course. What were you doing at the time?
Well, due to the nature of this facility, I don't think I can tell you that.
If you try to back out now, you'll only cast suspicion on yourself. After all, in our eyes.
Indeed, I am terribly sorry, yet it's my understanding that we have an agreement with the Bureau not to speak about any confidential information regarding the facility, no? Perhaps it was the chief inspector I spoke with. I got his permission. He said something about being your boss. Yes, indeed. Ah.
Then, shall we put in a pin in that discussion for now? After all, we should be hearing from our other suspects.
Indeed, you've both been terrific. I'll be seeing you. But what about the fact that he saw the blood and didn't have a reaction to it? Detective? Heap! Calm yourself. We've already hardly begun our investigation.
Right, but the fact that Beck is hiding something shows us we've got a huge harvest to reap, right? The chief, though, someday I hope to get a chance to legally let him meet his maker.
Chief, I'd like to offer up an early prayer for your passing. Stop lying. What's that sound?
Sounds like it's coming from the outside.
Ah, there you are. Detectives, sir, ma'am, you can take this human here into custody.
No, they cannot. This man, he is a real criminal. Don't let him fool you. Excuse me, what are you two doing? Here now, the both of you need to calm yourselves down first of all, and...
Oh, to see anyone so brazen in this wide world of ours. You've exceeded my expectations once again. I'm genuinely impressed. Bravo. Bravo.
Bravo? Really? I said calm down. Calm! Sorry.
You only have to say it once. Why the need to repeat yourself?
Well, at least you're calm now, right?
I'd appreciate if you refrain from shouting. You'll scare the creatures.
Excuse me? You know what? Let's just move past that.
Come to think of it, Brian mentioned sending in 2 more suspects. That must be you two. Suspects? I don't like the sound of that. I'm the handler in charge of the mammals, Kendrick Hawes.
And I'm in charge of the reptiles. The name's Lisa Moko. Lisa Moko? Feel I've heard that name before.
You were the first on the scene, right?
Yes, that's right. Ah, of course. Then let's start with Miss Moko.
No, you should hear what I have to say first.
Eh?
I have no idea what lies she's about to spout off. What am I supposed to do if she slanders my name?
It's quite alright. We'll fairly... Just do as this lunatic says. Alright then.
Huh? Why are you giving in so quickly? You have something else up your sleeve?
Ugh, seriously. Then you go later. Okay then.
Not a chance. That's playing right into her hand. I almost fell for it. Nice try.
No, you know what? Yeah, you pillock. I fooled you. It was a trick. And hell's bells, you caught me. Note. Seriously, I am trying my hardest not to whip out my gun right now.
I just love the idea of her just pulling at the clock and being like, everyone shut up! Calm down, you two. Calm.
Stop repeating yourself. No more repeats. Ugh, you loon. You just don't like being around me because you think I'm unclean or some nonsense.
She ran off, so shall we start with my statement?
Is it really over? It's over, right? Done? Finished?
You really only need to say things once.
Note, this guy's the criminal, right?
I understand where you're coming from, but you can't let emotions cloud your judgment.
My word, detective work really takes it out of you.
So, shall I explain how I know Moko is the culprit?
No, please start by telling me what you were doing at the time of the incident in question. After that, we'll get to each of your experiences and why you're butting heads so often.
Okay, I guess we can do it how you bureau detectives insist.
Crikey.
My job here mostly consists of looking after all of our animals. We've got quite the collection of mammals we breed here, but I heard screams coming from the reptile wing, and of course it's Moko who's in charge of the reptiles. Anyway, I headed in the direction of the screams and found all that madness. I couldn't tell right away that someone had been killed. Oh, I could tell. Not couldn't. I can't read, it's fine. The last time I saw Mr. Thompson was at 11, so that gave Moko 2 hours to kill him. Oh. There, I told you what you wanted to know. It must be hard to care for all those mammals by yourself, huh? I imagine you must have some pretty big creatures. No, actually, thanks to my skill, it's not that hard at all. I find it quite pleasant. You have a skill that helps you take care of them? Of course, it's because of that skill that I got hired on. Note, his bureau file is among the files Brian left behind. Mr. Hodge, your skill is possession-type animal manipulation. Your threat level is also STN. Correct. Thanks to that threat level, my life has been hard. I'm only allowed out during my allotted time, and even then, it's only along the route designated for me. Must be difficult. Well, it is what it is. After all, my skill led me to this job, so it's not all bad. Surprisingly loyal, this one.
Possession-type animal manipulation, so basically you're able to control animals.
Of course, what else would that mean?
But if it's mammals in particular, does that also technically include people? I'm just curious. Because humans are technically mammals, so would we be could he manipulate us? True. Could you show us your skill?
That might be hard right this second, don't you think?
Uh-huh.
No reason to get worked up about it, though. I mean, I just can't reach.
Can't reach what?
Hold up a minute. I've got it somewhere. Found it. Take a look at this. It's a blueprint of the building. We're in lounge number 2, right? The mammal is the catalyst for my skill, or just down the hall. That's the mammal wing. It's exactly 4 meters away. Yes, and it just so happens 4 meters is the range of my skill. Even if I were to put my hands to the wall and try to use my skill, I'd never reach the entrance to the mammal wing. That's why I said it'd be hard for me to show you, but if you were to accompany to the mammal wing, I could then.
So that's what you meant. I was just about to kill you before you got to the point of that one. So I guess he can't control humans.
Interesting.
Well then, please head back to the mammal wing for now. After we question Miss Moko, we'll head that way.
Alright, pardon me, but
Yes?
I mean, it's just, I'll wait back where I was, but don't you trust a word that comes out of that woman's mouth. What was that about you being about to kill him?
What do you mean? Never mind.
He didn't make any strange claims, did he?
Nothing strange, but quite enough to get me all worked up. To start, we just asked him what he was doing at the time of the incident. We're gonna ask you about, that same thing.
Why is a person like that even working here? He seems proud enough of his work here as a handler. And that's the part that gets under my skin the most. You could treat the livestock like humans, but you can't treat humans like livestock. I just can't see what he likes about those monsters. Then this work really doesn't suit you, Miss Moko? That ape is the only one who could find this job enjoyable. Do you know what it's like being welcomed every day by a 4-meter long monstrosity? We saw the giant creature outside the reptile wing. Are there similar creatures on the mammal side too? Yes, they've got one absolutely covered in fur.
I had no idea they got that big. I figured it was stuff, which almost led me to a spot of trouble.
It's natural to be ignorant of that fact. After all, those things are for military use. Creatures are used as weapons? They were quite useful at the beginning of World War I. They are easier to mobilize than tanks. They can also devour a person rather than you could say Bob's your uncle. Though I never expected it'd be Mr. Thompson who proved the story's true. Of course, that's how the victim died. If you hate creatures that much, why work here? The money. Makes sense. Right when the boss man saw my skill, he made me an extremely generous offer, plus there was nowhere else that wanted me.
Speaking of which, your skill, Miss Moko, let's see here. Command-based animal manipulation.
It's pretty similar to the skill on Hawes' file, huh? Honestly, they're practically the same skill. We're both just controlling animals. Would you like me to show you? Huh? Is that alright? Sure, just give me a second. I'll call one over. Sure is taking a while. Seems like she's here. Would you open the door? What? What's this? A turtle? She's adorable. This is the animal I first saw locked. This is the animal I first saw locked in a cage when I entered the woods facility. This is a pet creature. She's the only one worth looking at the whole reptile wing. Would you like to pet her? I can make her stay still.
Can you make her do some somersaults?
I can't give her any orders outside of simple movements. Plus, I don't think she has the body composition for that. You can even control the animals you can't see. Yes, it's possible, generally speaking, if I know their approximate location. That doesn't just go for me. I'm sure it's the same with most skills people have. I'll send her back to the reptile wing now.
Have a safe trip back.
With that skill, I bet you make the perfect animal handler. I do. Feeding the creatures for the military would be especially hard without it. They eat an enormous amount of food, so we have special feeding areas for them. Thus, we use our skills to move those animals to their designated rooms during feeding times.
That last part. Could I get that on record?
Sure. I'll mention again when I talk about how I came upon what was left of the body.
Great. Well then, rest your hands on this table and speak from a place of tranquility.
The creatures we breed for the military are violent and will eat anything in front of them, so it's quite difficult to feed them in their cages. And that's why we prepare their meals for them in a separate containment area and move them that way. They can weigh over 100 kilograms, but they're quite easy to move with our skills. While the military creature feeds, I rest in lounge number 1 next door. When mealtime is over, I return the creature back to its cage and return to the reptile wing. The skill Hawes has is similar to mine, but for some reason his threat level is higher than mine.
There was something with a catalyst of hers, and his didn't have it, but his also has a lower...
range, because hers is 20. His is a smaller range, so I wonder if it's the catalyst. It's normally around 1 o'clock when we finish feeding the big ones. That's when I found Mr. Thompson was dead. I think that's it. I see. I'm beginning to understand just why you and Mr. Hawes thought each other the culprits.
What? Why's that?
For that, we first need a good understanding of the layout of this facility. This facility divides its creatures and their care into 2 wings, one for mammals, one for the reptiles. The reason they laid it out that way is probably due to the special characteristics of their animal handlers. Yeah, his only has that. But hers is command-based. He could just think it. Okay. So it's probably here. Like, that's what I'm betting on? Oh. Oh, okay, because she can only use reptiles and he can only deal with the mammals.
Because of their catalyst?
Miss Moko and Mr. Hawes, they both have skills that allow them to control animals, but the subjects of their control, their catalysts, are opposite. Miss Moko's skills allow her to control reptiles, while Mr. Hawes' skills allow him to control mammals. That's why this breeding facility is separated into a reptile wing and a mammal wing, and it's also why each wing is left to the person able to use their skill to control them. Yes, that's right. From what I heard, they originally didn't have the creatures separated by reptile and mammal, managing to care for them regardless.
Oh, I see. What's all that got to do with our case, though?
Just as this breeding facility is divided into 2 wings, the crux of this case is also divided between 2 areas.
The crux?
Yes, in a way, you could say they act as the murder weapons in this case. They're mentioned several times in the documents we've drawn up. Okay. Is it this? Yeah. Is it the drainage pipes? Because they found the excrement, so you can't really figure out who ate. Nope. Hold on. I think it's this. Because they'll eat whatever, they have to split them up. Yeah. The creature's bred for the military. Miss Moko, there's a military creature in the mammal wing, but you're unable to control it, right? So for that one, it's up to Mr. Hawes to do the controlling, right? Yes, he controls it much the same way I do mine. And just as I rest up in Lounge 1, Hawes would have been sitting here in the number 2 lounge while he used his skill. Of course, so in other words, you and Mr. Hawes have 1 military creature each that you're responsible for controlling. It's possible for each of you to move your creature wherever you wish.
Ah, that's why you called them murder weapons.
The crime scene where you found the remnants of the body was an absolute wreck, as if someone had been let loose to rampage inside there. Miss Moko, when you saw the crime scene, You believed it to be one of the military creatures that carried out the crime, right?
I did.
And there lies our problem. We have 2 people able to send a military creature into that room.
Moko and Hawes.
That's what Miss Moko wished to tell us. She wanted to say she wasn't the killer, so it must have been Mr. Hawes who killed him. That's what Mr. Hawes presumed as well. If he wasn't the killer, it must have been Miss Moko who sent her creature into Mr. Thompson's room. The 2 possibilities are completely opposed to one another. That's right. With our 2 suspects, in order to prove their own innocence, they each had no choice but to accuse the other of being the killer. Logic!
Well, I seem to have a greater general sense of what's going on. This case is more complicated than I thought.
However, we may be able to solve it surprisingly easily.
What? You really think so?
It's obvious, but the creatures in the reptile and mammal wing are completely different classes of animal. Their footprints are going to be easy to distinguish. If we could just get praise of the creatures who attacked the victim at the scene of the crime.
We'll be able to see which creature gulped down the victim. That'll lead us straight to our culprit.
Indeed, it will.
It's really that simple. All we need to do is ask Brian to make a trace photo, then we're done. Hey, Brian!
Don't start yelling out of the blue. You scared me.
Sorry. Where are you? We just uncovered a huge clue.
I'm in the mammal wing right now with the Sarge. If you turn left once you leave the interrogation room, you can't miss us.
Okay, we're on our way. We're gonna wrap this case up in a jiffy.
Alright, just don't run. We don't need you taking another spill.
What? Oh, okay. Our little friend Brian seems down in the dumps for some reason.
You think so? Come to think of it, Detective Brian has been looking like he's been wanting to say something. I just hope he doesn't have anything too big on his plate.
Normally, if someone's saying that, it's big.
And we will head down there next time. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all for the continuation. Bye.